Hi, my name is Anthony Carlson. I help guide and evolve designs at Farm Credit Service America, which I'm going to refer to as FCS America. We try to build a very evolved design to give software that our customers want. And it just happens right now, the software our customers want is a mobile application. So I will show you how a financial company uses existing infrastructure and how we integrated with WSO2 to deliver software that users want. All right. Here is our agenda. So FCS America and our farmers, they're the food producers of the world. They are very productive of what they do. We're also going to have a chance to talk about how we're delivering value to our customers through a mobile app. And I'm going to show you how integrating with WSO2, those features that we did. And some of this is the best thing you have is existing infrastructure to get that mobile experience. I'm going to go through my design, and then hopefully I'm going to be able to show you our results so you can have the same results if you decide to go in this realm. So Farm Credit Service America, or FCS America, is part of the Farm Credit Associations. There's farm credit associations all across the U.S. What our vision is to be America's most valued financial partner. So we give financial services and credit to rural America. Our offices is in Omaha, Nebraska. We serve Iowa, South Dakota, Wyoming, and of course, Nebraska. When I first started working for Farm Credit, we were considered, these associations talk about how much loan volume they had. We were a $1 billion loan volume, which is much. As of today, we're a $22 billion loan volume. We are served by about 50,000 customers that live in what we consider rural areas. So that means the population is about under 2,500. We are governed by a board of directors that are mostly our customers. And why that's important is FCS America, when it does business with a customer, one of these farmers, is they buy stock in our company. And what FCS America does is that when there reaches a point of maximizing, I guess, what the interest we make, we actually give back to our customers in dividends. So we serve some type of patronage to our customers. So the cool thing that I always like to talk about our customers is our customers are so great we put them on cereal boxes. This is a local ad campaign in Iowa by the Hy-Vee stores. And I don't know if many people are here from an agricultural background. I mean, this is something I've lived all my life in. But farmers are really innovators. They're family-owned. They're also very tech-savvy. And out in rural America, cash and check is still king. I don't know if anyone ever here has written $25,000 checks, on a weekly basis, but, we have some customers. Or maybe I'll write $1 million check at the end of the year. The other thing that farmers battle is the rates. What is the market doing? They also have to battle the weather. They battle regulation every year by the Farm Bill. What they also battle is this geographic location. So, most of us probably live close if we're inside a city to our bank, and we don't think of it. But most farmers, such as in Wyoming, live anywhere 75 miles or more from their local farm credit office. Some in South Dakota live 50 miles. And so we have this challenge where we mostly send financial officers to them because some of our customers will never, ever visit a FCS America office. So when we wanted to build a mobile app, we wanted to build a customer-centric. We wanted to enhance that customer experience, build customer loyalty, and set us apart in the market. That was our need. As what I found out is the Farm Credit Association, which spans the whole U.S., we're the only ones that have a customer-centric mobile app. So we're already setting ourselves apart from that, but we're also setting ourselves apart from the banks, the Wells Fargos, and everything else of financial institutions in our area. When we first wanted to look at what type of features we needed authentication, banking features, some type of office locator, some type of logging, just different features that we can help our customers. All right. So I don't know if anyone else does it, but what FCS America does, we always have talks with the Forrester Group about what's going on in technology. And the Forrester Group is the one that actually brought us to what to use, or what we want to hear about, an API gateway. We had existing mobile app, but it didn't have any services. So we wanted to learn, and basically what we did, we took their recommendation of looking at WSO2. So what's WSO2 have? The data. It's going to give us JSON. As a developer, I know how to deal with JSON. That's a win. Security. That the whole thought of a token, the app authenticates with the API gateway, then it can authenticate. Wait, that's OAuth. We tried to write our own little OAuth and try to implement it, but now wait, it's built in WSO2. I'm going to take advantage of that. And now if we have this data and security that we can use, we can start going out to devices. It just happens that's a mobile device. For our deployment, when I first had to learn about Publisher, it's click, 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 next. That's how easy you want your publishing API device to be. One of the, I don't know if it's a challenge or the way our infrastructure is, we're actually deploying on Windows Server 2012. We're basically a Microsoft shop, and if you didn't know, IIS has a lot of these features built in it, but we still chose WSO2. For the implementation and management, this is kind of our DevOps. The developers, like myself, we manage the lower environments, working with their DevOps, but just through a change of command, they mostly do our pre-prod integrated, and they also do our production. So they've had to learn along with us on how do we manage this. All right, so I have no idea what this means, but this somewhere is our FCS America infrastructure, just like everyone else. Somewhere in this vast diagram is probably things that your company uses or needs, and you want to somehow figure out, how do I get out to FCSA Mobile, or our FCSA America mobile app. So what's in this is our services that we already have. We have logging, marketing, accounts, customer, some type of authentication, remote deposit capture. Those services already exist out there, so how are we going to take advantage of those? Some of the other things that probably exist inside your infrastructure is things such as your own security models, if that's Active Directory. Or you probably have things such as load balance, some type of failover. You have these servers that you spend a lot of money on hardware, but it's running these services, but they're not exposed. So when we first started thinking about mobility, what does that really mean? It means we're going to use REST, JSON, OAuth, and an API gateway. That was how we thought of what mobility. We had this existing infrastructure, so I need to figure out how to get those services out to the mobile app. Another thought that when we look at some of the papers by WSO2 is, are we going to decide to take that strategy? Are we public or private? FCS America is not in the business of publishing APIs. We're mostly going to take that private model and use the APIs, which has its pros and cons. It depends on which side you want. But we want to stick to our business and our customers. So using that type of private strategy is probably the best thing that we could do. And then we want to use that gateway to publish out to the internet. So like I said, I've been about 14 years at FCS America. And at first, we thought about, okay, what's this thing look like? No API manager. I don't know if anyone's ever been caught into this old, if this wasn't a mobile phone, it's a website. You just say, hey, open some ports. expose those services. And this wasn't something, but this is what your world would look like if you didn't have the API manager. All right. So another thought, and I'm glad we killed this in a hurry, was okay. We have all this existing infrastructure. Let's figure out how to move it outside of our firewall. Let's put it in our DMZ. Let's figure out how we can start moving databases out there or that copy. You know, I know there's been companies or people I've talked to that said, you know, it made sense at the time, but you know, we don't want to go down this route either. You know. All right. So one thought we thought of when we had this API is that we'll just build some type of wrapper, facade, however you want to put it, around all these services. We'll make them RESTful, and then we'll try to figure out how to publish them using the publisher to API gateway and push them out and have some of that logic on the mobile phone. But you know, this just didn't seem right when we first started getting into it. You know, are we ready to have or manage these many APIs? Look, it's only 5 or 6, but you know, I don't know if from a company if we were ready for that. So this is what we did to help do our design. All right, we built what's called a mobile wrapper, and we're only going to have one published API. Now we're going to take these services that we know how to use the interface, wrap most of our business logic in this mobile wrapper, and then guess what? We're just going to shoot that data out how we want to. And why is this important? Well, we have this authentication, legacy service. It probably has like 70 methods on it, you know, for whoever designed it, whoever's maintaining it. Guess what? We only need 3. So maybe we're going to build a wrapper around those 3 methods, and we're going to leave the rest alone. Our customer has a contract with over 90 fields coming back. We need like 10. So we're going to build those result sets because I want to have the smallest amount going back through the wire to wherever that mobile device is. And some of the things, you know, as they've been talking through WSO2 is, you know, about the cloud. Guess what? If we have this separation where we have it published, we don't have to keep publishing. We can just leave WSO2. Someday, hopefully, that may reside in the cloud. You know, we can keep adding some type of load balance servers, keep scaling this side up over here, and we don't have to worry about what's out in the DMZ or firewall. You know, so this is our API strategy for how we've delivered our FCS and mobile app. So let's talk about some results. So out in rural Nebraska, this was a quote from actually one of our customers. You know, that customer loyalty, giving software that users want. Remote deposit capture is the best thing your company has ever done. FCS America, the Farm Credit Association, has been doing loans with farmers for over 100 years. You know, and this was a family-owned farm who said this. You know, who's probably had business with 20, 30 years. We also have a customer case out in rural Iowa. What they used to do is they get a check, they deposit the bank, wait a few days, and then they mail us a check. Well, we found out that check was $400,000. So just think about stopping that interest through a mobile device right away somewhere out in rural Iowa. And you also have to think, you know, these customers, like I said, that geographic. Some of them are 100 miles away. Some of them are 75 miles away. From a financial perspective, we processed over $100 million in the first 85 days. We're killing it in terms of just getting our customers to adapt to this, to use that mobile device. The other part of this is FCS America is also, we still do a lot of manual checks. I think they said somewhere in 6 months we'll get like 150,000 checks mailed in. So we're really trying to push to help those financial numbers to stop that interest. And there's a lot of benefit to that. The other cool like little stat is that, you know, just from our users, you know, if you're in the mobile world, they either love or hate your app. there's no such thing as I like it. Do they love it? And so how we say that 64% of our mobile users have made at least one deposit. There must be something they like about it. In terms of WSO2, we've taken advantage of other managers, fairly simple to use, and for our DevOps, Carbon, the key manager, the OAuth. We've also had the talk of going through support. That was one of the three. When we first published our went to live, I would say, in production, WSO2 was running on this Windows server. For some reason, it was crashing like every 60 seconds. And we actually took advantage of the technical support, sent the issue. They sent us a new access2.xml, show us our fixes for our version, and we were up and running. So WSO2 does provide that technical support, and we're talking 24-hour turnaround. It was just something that we never saw. So if you're ever curious, this is the Android. It's out there on the Google Play Store. And so some of those takeaways is, I do hope everyone using it is trying to figure out what is their mobile strategy. It's okay to be private or public, and still use WSO2. WSO2, it handled our security, those data needs. We took advantage of our existing infrastructure, and we're delivering an app that users want. This is software users are using, and we are getting extremely good feedback from our customers. So with that, are there any questions?
Hi, Anthony. Having grown up in Ohio, I think what you're doing for the farmers is really, really, really cool. And I'm just wondering what you've noticed, especially over the past 6 months, year, 2 years, and what you can speak to in terms of connectivity and usage of your mobile platform versus maybe the web desktop among your customers.
All right. So if I hear you right, you're asking what's that connectivity users are having on their mobile device out in rural America. All right. So some of the things that we've seen is you don't really know what type of mobile device is out there because a lot of them, guess what? There's no such thing as a Sprint or Apple Store or those out in a population of 150 people. So some of that challenge is what device, but also who's their carrier. Are they using a Boost mobile phone from Walmart? Are they using some type of device? And I've actually seen where we've had a customer on an Android using their connectivity through their service where they get nothing. Where we actually see that nothing's being returned over the wire to them, yet they connect to their Wi-Fi and it works just fine. Those are type of connectivity issues that we see, and we've also seen. How can I say this? Seeing is how do we truly troubleshoot in our internal network and then troubleshoot them. That's kind of where I was like, did I answer the question, what you were looking for? Because you just got to think just like here, sometimes in the city, calls drop in a hurry, connectivity. But sometimes you have no connectivity out there, and we have some of these customers are very patient, and that's one thing we're thankful for.
Real quick follow-up question to that. Is the rural broadband projects helping you guys at all?
All right. So some of the things that I have seen in Nebraska in terms of helping the broadband is I don't really have a correct answer for that, but I've seen everything through IP over wire like electrical poles. All right, I've seen that used. Let's see. So we still have satellite, but I don't know if we're going to convince Google to to lay some lines all the way through central Nebraska for us.
We're all paying taxes for that to happen anyways.
Yeah,
$100 billion, and I'm wondering why you guys don't have the bandwidth to directly support. Paid into the system for years.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to answer that. I could probably ask someone at home why that infrastructure through Nebraska is not there. But because I know Google has built, took it on themselves, and they built an infrastructure from Omaha to Kansas City. And yes, and we would love to tap into that for our customers.
Any more questions? All right.
All right. Well, thank you very much.